guys, I hope you're doing well. If you don't know, my name's Brittany and I film videos that are based around the paranormal and mythological beings. So if that's something that you think might interest you, go ahead and quickly hit that subscribe button and we're going to dive right into the final part of the series today. So, I don't know about you, but I have been very excited to find out how the story ends, and I promise I have not read a single word because I wanted to read it with you guys. Now, if you missed any of the other two videos that had parts 1 through 4 in them, then I'm going to put the links right down below. That way you can catch up and jump right back onto this one. Again, this is the final part, so the absolute last part of the story. And it goes. Baba Yaga's hut was walking toward me, the chicken legs quivering as they took long and slow, deliberate steps. The ground shook as it walked. I wanted to shout, to scream, to run, but I'd learned by now that none of those things makes a difference. All I could do was stand, transfixed to the spot as I watched in horror the things that were unraveling before me. As the hut got closer, I saw its horrific detail. The windows were lit and burned a deep red, and as it got closer, I could see that the windows possessed blinking eyes on each corner that stared down at me. The door itself was a mouth, and it snapped open as it approached, revealing hard, metallic teeth. The hut was death personified. Baba Yaga was death personified. The hut was adorned with human bones. There were skulls, torsos, hands, arms, legs at every little nook and cranny of the exterior. The closer it got, the more horrific it looked. The illustrations in my book did no justice. They failed to outline the true terror of Baba Yaga's abode. It was then that the door with teeth opened and Baba Yaga appeared, holding the still beating heart of her latest victim. She cackled as she looked down at me, and I suddenly felt very faint, nauseous, and not myself. I felt compelled to walk over to my mother's corpse. I didn't want to, but my legs just ended up taking me there. I had no control over my body. I stood over my mother's mutilated body with tears streaming down my face, unable to control what I was doing. Baba Yaga was next to me now. She made me kneel. She wiped the sweat from my brow with her skinny, rotting fingers, and then she made me eat my mother's rotting heart. I had no control over this, as I mentioned, so the deed itself was absolute torture. I couldn't do anything to stop myself. My limbs were alien, no longer mine, and were at Baba Yaga's every behest. I could still feel, though, and I could still taste. Now, how can I describe to you what a rotting heart tasted like? They're right when they saw that people taste like pork. The taste was bitter, acidic, and I don't know whether that had anything to do with the decaying of the heart. The blood, though, my God, the blood. There was no metallic taste to it. I can't quite explain the taste of it, but it made me want to vomit. Have you ever smelled a rotting corpse? Well, it tastes as it smells. I remember feeling a horrible knot in my stomach. It made me recoil. I gripped my stomach so tight and cried out. I didn't know what was happening to me. The pain was indescribable, like thousands and thousands of little knives stabbing me all at once from the inside. I think I passed out again right then. All I remember is the sound of Baba Yaga's shrill laugh. When I awoke, I was inside the hut, strapped to a sacrificial altar. There were hooded figures all around me and they were chanting. I felt sick, faint, and like something was crawling inside of me. In the middle of the room was Baba Yaga, and she was holding another heart in her hands, high above her head. This one looked different, though. It didn't look human. It was far too big, and it was so black. The veins shone bright red, and they pulsated. One of the hooded figures approached me and removed its hood. It was my father. "Hello, Anna," he said, smiling. "Dad, what's happening? Please help me. Please let me go. I won't leave my room again, I promise," I said, tears streaming down my face. And I really was sorry. I really wish that things could go back to what they were. No matter how cruel they seemed, anything was better than this. "I am so sorry, Anna, but that's not going to happen. Your mother and I have tried our best to protect you as much as we could. You must understand, this is not what I wanted. But Baba Yaga, she needed a new host. She is our God, and we want to serve her well. We want to repay what she has given us, and we must be forgiven for what we've done. How we've shackled her for so long. There are lives at stake here. Your mother already lost hers. My dad replied, not a shred of emotion lining his cruel face. A host? What does that mean? Why am I strapped in like this? What are you planning to do? I cried out at him. I screamed, I writhed, but it was no use. It is no use, Anna. You have discovered her, and now you must pay the price. I have to pay the price, as your mother has had to pay the price. Please, Anna, don't make this harder than it has to be, my father said, gently stroking my sweat-covered hair. I didn't say anything then. I just sobbed. I mean, what can you even say? My father continued. It is a special privilege, Anna, a great honor, and you should consider yourself lucky to have been chosen. When the time comes, you will carry the Baba Yaga for centuries, and you will do great things with her, he said as he began to walk away. He looked at the Baba Yaga and at the other figures, and he spoke once more. We must begin the ritual. Baba Yaga had been walking toward me. The hooded figures, including my father, all knelt down as she passed. She was holding the strange black heart in her hand, and she cupped it and brought it close to my face. I turned my face away, clenched my mouth shut because I knew what she was going to do. She was going to feed that heart to me. You must devour the heart, Anna. It is a sacred heart. It is her heart. Eat it, my father said, and I recognized that tone of voice. I have heard it so many times growing up. It was the voice of a father who, if you didn't do what he said, then you would be sorry you ever existed and defied the order. I already was sorry. Despite I fought against my shackles, I fought as hard as I could against Baba Yaga's powers, but she overcame me. I started to feel like I did back outside next to my mother's corpse, like I couldn't control what I did. I was suddenly fighting against myself. Your efforts are futile, Anna. The Baba Yaga is strong. Just please, do as she commands. Do as I command, for God's sake. I am your father and you will obey, he bellowed. The Baba Yaga shot him a glance. She was in charge here. My father quickly returned to his place. I could see the fear forming on his face. I started shouting and screaming. Then Baba Yaga's powers quickly overwhelmed me and I lay comatose but still conscious. I just couldn't move any part of my body. The Baba Yaga brought the heart to my lips and made me open my mouth and then made me bite down. Then she made me chew. Internally, I was screaming, I was gagging, and for the love of God, I just wanted to vomit. But I couldn't do any of those things. All I could do was lie there, still as a mouse, and chew the decaying heart of a century-old witch. When that was over, I felt a very sharp pain in my chest, a pain so profound, so agonizing, that I thought I was going to die right there and then on that altar. I had my bodily functions back, and I writhed so violently that I felt all the bones in my back literally crack and bend. I screamed until my voice was hoarse, and then it was over, just like that. I looked up hazily, my breathing shallow, and what I saw made me shout out once more. Baba Yaga held my heart in her hands. It was my still beating heart. She put it in some sort of cauldron that was in the middle of the hooded figures. She cooked it and then she ate it. The Baba Yaga ate my heart. It is done, the hooded figure said in unison. My father approached me then. You are bonded to the Baba Yaga. You are one now, and when the time comes, it could be years and years from now, but the time will come and you will know. Then you will become the Baba Yaga. You, Anna, will be our God. You will be her, my father said. Sleep now, child. Sleep tomorrow. Everything will be new, different, he said, stroking my head once more. I drifted away then. I dreamt of Baba Yaga. So there you go. That is my life story. I encountered the Baba Yaga and I have not been the same since, and perhaps that is down to me not having a heart. As I mentioned, I attended therapy for many years following my encounter in the ritual. My therapist said that it was the trauma of the cruelty I received from my parents that brought on the illusion of what happened to me. According to her, none of that ever occurred and it was just my broken psyche, attempting to make sense of my abuse. She said the stories I read as a child fueled my overactive imagination and that the first step to healing is to accept it. After a while, I started to believe it myself, but deep, deep down, I knew that what had happened to me was real. I knew that one day I would become the Baba Yaga. I didn't have much of a life, though. I suffered from constant nightmares. I lived a very lonely and isolated existence. It wasn't much different to how I grew up, so I didn't mind. I am much, much older now, and I still don't truly know when the time will come and when she will come back for me. I will say one thing, though. Lately, I've been feeling strange. I've been feeling hungry all the time. The nightmares have been becoming more vivid, more lucid. I dream of eating hearts. I dream of burning children, men and women, and devouring their hearts. I've been seeing Baba Yaga, too. At first, it was in my dreams, but now I see her at night before I go to sleep. She crouches on the top of my wardrobe, waiting for me, watching me, smiling, always smiling. I think it's going to happen soon. Now all I crave for, all I think about is blood. So that is the final part of the series, you guys. And it's pretty crazy. The Baba Yaga witch kind of reminds me of the witch in Hansel and Gretel. I don't know if that's just me, but just something about the fact that, you know, she devours children and tricks them and all of that. Just, there's a lot of similarities, especially with how she looks, that reminds me of the witch from Hansel and Gretel. I almost wonder if the reason that Anna's mother died was because she knew that Baba Yaga wanted her daughter and she didn't want that to happen. So she betrayed her God and it cost her her life. I can't really think of any other reason why she would have been killed by the Baba Yaga if the Baba Yaga had other plans. Like I said, cannibalism is one of the things that really grosses me out. So definitely some really gross parts in there for me. So another thing to think about is, so this is very dark magic. People, witches, they can't live forever unless they are performing something dark. And so it does make sense of the eerie appearance of the Baba Yaga because she is linked with something so dark. And she can manage to survive forever by performing this really dark ritual that includes an exchanging of eating hearts. What do you guys think of this entire story? Have you guys heard anything about the Baba Yaga? I know I've seen some pictures of Baba Yaga and her hut, and it is a very twisted home, to say the least. But what do you guys think about the story? I would love to hear from you. All of the ways to connect with me are right down below. And if you liked this video, please give it a big thumbs up. And if you are not yet subscribed, please hit the subscribe button. It would mean so much to me. And I will see you guys next time.